Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, Miss Ed is going to get us started with prayer. All this technology. La 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 la.
You don't even have to hold it. All right, let's center our hearts and go before the Lord. Thank you, Father, for what a beautiful day that you created, day that you've made that's like no other. And our job is to rejoice and to be glad in it. We're so grateful for all the many blessings that you provide for us, especially the blessing of community, the blessing of family, the blessing of friends. And as we gather here today to talk about our events on campus, those in progress, those upcoming, to talk about our opportunities as well as our concerns, God, we just ask that all of our deliberations be with you in mind. You are our source and our strength. You are our guide and our rock. We lean and depend on you, especially in this day and in this hour. So continue to just guard our hearts. Continue to provide for us in the way that you always have, and help us to continue to love one another the way that you always love us. And this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. Thank you. Stand if you are able to. Can. We'll do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hello. All right. I don't know. Is it picking up? Sort of went out there for a second, didn't it? All right. That is going to go with spiritual life. Can you all hear me? No?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hello. Maybe I do have to hold it. Hello? Hello? Check. Can you hear me now? Yes. I don't know what's going on.
He has the pastor's mic, so maybe he needs to use the other one. What do you think? Because that one works for me on Sunday. No problem. Well, just to review and to keep you up with what's going on in the spiritual life and in the spiritual campus activities, I did put in Hunter Herald some dates that I'm going to be out for this month. And it's also, if you ever need a good update, the wall behind here in the breezeway, the bulletin board there, it has the spiritual news from Spiritual Life. And then on the opposite bulletin board there, we have the sermons for Sunday, because I'm preaching in a series, so I can give you the titles ahead of time. We're on the miracles of Jesus, so those are there. The dates that I'm going to be out traveling are there. Any special events on campus from Spiritual Life or from the chaplain's office are also there. So when you're walking through there, you can take a moment just to breeze to have those as a reminder. Thank you for everyone who came out for Chat and Chew, for Peach Cobbler and Peach Harvest Ice Cream. We had a good time. And so next month, we'll think about what we'll do to cool us off for the summertime in August as we continue to chat with you. I'll be leaving Sunday night in Orlando for the Christian Education Youth Leadership Conference for the AME Church. I am both a presenter as well as over some events there too, so I will be off campus. That is in your Hunter Herald, that is on the board, and that is on my door posted as well. But I can be reached by phone and email during that time. I will check my emails when I have lunch or have my break, and if it's a phone call, if it goes to voicemail, please leave me a message. Many of you know if you leave me a message, I can return your call and I can address it. But if you don't leave me a message, then I'm trying to guess if you really needed something or if you wanted something. So just leave me a message. As soon as I get an opportunity, I'll step out. For some of your names, if I know there's something kind of on the radar, I can step out of the meeting then and take the call. So I still am available to you. Don't think that I'm not available. Now, when I won't be available will be July 24th. I am going to Ghana, have another opportunity to do a mission project there with primary school kids. And I will be gone from the 24th until August the 5th. I will return back to work. You can reach me by email, but my time and your time are not going to coincide, okay?
What time is it in Ghana?
Well, we're actually 6 hours ahead in Ghana. So I would have already done it when you get up to do it, okay? Keep that in mind. So what that means is if it is an extreme emergency, I always have international calling. And I do give you permission to use my phone if you need to, but it needs to be extreme emergency because at 9 o'clock in the morning for you, half my day will be gone. 10 o'clock at night for you will be 4 o'clock in the morning for me. So I'm not going to be calling you because when I'm up for the morning, you'll be resting at night. But if it is an emergency, and I have told staff and residents when I travel internationally, I do have international call, and you don't have to worry. Verizon's expense, believe it or not, is $10 a month. That's why I stay with Verizon. But you can call me, but just make sure while I'm in Ghana that it is something that needs my immediate attention on there. Otherwise, send me an email. I will have internet intermittently over there. So I'll check it when I have internet. There will be some places where I won't have contact for where I'm going, but your prayers are going to cover me there, and everything will be well. I want to thank Joy Boyer for inviting me to the Salvation Army this month. I had an opportunity to do a kind of a marketing visit to talk to their group, and it was a great turnout, and I do believe that one couple said they were coming for a tour. I still haven't had a chance to follow up, Michelle, to see who they are, but I know they're coming for IL, and so I did give them your information, and I'll follow up with that. But if any of you have groups outside of the campus and you would like for me to come and present, as long as it's in line with what I do. So don't ask me to come and talk about maintenance. I'm not going to be real good at that. But if it's in line with what I do and you want to share that in the community and have a chance to have someone from our campus to come, you know, you can always contact Michelle and Evelise to do that as well. But if it's something that I can do, feel free to give me an invitation because I love to come out and spend that with you. The last two that I've done have been very successful, and they went over really well. And last but not least, I believe, one more announcement. You'll see it in your Lake Hunter Herald. In August, we're going to do a special event. It will be down at the MacArthur Center, and the name of it is Beads and Q. Okay, Beads and Q, like the alphabet on the Q. It started out as a paint and sip, and it went to a beads and Q. The Vol Shop needed to downsize on some of their broken jewelry, and some of you needed to downsize on some of your broken costume jewelry, not your expensive stuff. And we decided what we're going to do, since we're in line with the West Coast is our theme. We're talking about California, Oregon, and Washington. I have some templates for those states and some things that happen in that state. And we're going to take those beads, and I have lots of good fabric glue, and we're going to do those on canvas to make different designs. A lot of you have seen that done with buttons or brooches where they make Christmas trees or different designs. Well, we're going to get real creative with that. And then afterwards, we're going to celebrate. We're going to get the glue off of our fingers by having barbecue because that will loosen it up. So we're going to do that, but it's limited to 30 people. So here's how the 30 works. We have 15 that will come from the north side of Cressup, and we'll have 15 that come from the south side of Cressup. Why? Because I want you to mingle as a group. I want a community to be connected. I don't want it to be a north side event, south side event. We're not north and south. We're one community. So as you sign up, just keep checking with me, or you can call and say if you think you're not keeping up with the list, but you can call and ask me, Etta, is there still room for the north side? And I can let you know yes or no. But we're going to keep it 15 and 15. That way everyone on the streets has an opportunity to sign up, as well as A building, B building, Highlanders, assisted living, and I'll do something separate for the health center. So I hope that sounds fair, but that will be in August. You'll get the dates for that. It's August 21st. It'll be 4 in the afternoon, and I have two of the most beautiful hostesses you have ever seen. Allison and Sabrina are going to be my hostesses. So you know that's going to be a lot of fun for us to get together then. And then last but not least, our Google reviews. We're winding down. So July is the last month for Google reviews. So right now, you have about 20 days to check and see. What I found out, many of you were trying to do 1 a month, some were trying to do 2. Once you put in your review, the way it's set up for this portion is they didn't want us to stack the cards. So you can only do one. And I had a lot of folks who were disappointed about that, but I appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to do a review, first of all, if you have Gmail, you're going to be the easiest folks to get it done. It literally takes 2-3 minutes. It's a sentence. It's not your life history. It's not a questionnaire. You just find something on campus, and it won't take you hard to look, something that you enjoy, something that's unique about our campus, something you would tell to someone who's visiting here that you want them to see, and you do a review about it. If you need help, Monday and Thursday, I have time scheduled on the calendar. It comes on My W Life to say, go see the chaplain. I can help you. If you don't have a Google account, that's all right. Come see me anyway. I can help you set that up. That takes me 5 minutes for us to do it instead of 3 minutes. But if you would like to participate, we would really love to bring this to a good close. I can tell you where we are with stats right now. We're tied for, in the number of ratings that have been submitted, we have done 21. And that puts us in third place with Julington Creek. Now, I've never been third place in my life, so I'm going to see how that feels. Not real comfortable there. I would like to be second or first, but Scott, it might be my first time for the third, but we're going to try. We're going to try. Now, for the ratings, we're at 4.5 for our community. There are other campuses who have moved to 4.5 or 4.6, but they started in the 3s. And so percentage-wise, we didn't have a lot of room to work there. So we're fourth place when it comes to actual percentage, but I'm not so much upset about that because when you start out good, you know, you can only go great. And other facilities started out a little less, so they had more room to grow. But if you feel like doing those reviews, just get them in before the end of July. Come see me, and let's at least move that third place up to second place, if not first, if we can do it, because I really, really would love to be first place and showing them that our folks really do have some unique things about our campus that we are proud of. We do have work to do, but so does everybody else. Nobody's perfect, but we do have some good things. Matter of fact, we've got some great things that go on here, and they'd love to hear about it. So thank you so much. Any questions for me? Yes, Larry. How
do you get into Google reviews?
Come see me, and well, matter of fact, you have a Gmail account? Okay, then I'll be here after the meeting, and it'll take you 3 minutes to do it. Yeah, but it is on My W Life. The QR code is on a lot of the papers. I have papers all over campus that say write a review, but I'll be here after the meeting, and then we can do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Etta.
It's
Thank
on.
you.
I don't know why it's not picking you up.
I'll do this, that way it'll squeal.
Okay. Hello. There we go. All right. Next, we're going to talk about resident life. We're going to bring Miss Wendy up and introduce her to some of you all that maybe haven't met her. Wendy Tamert is our CSS resident life support person, and she's been here helping us out and helping you all out since Samanda's been out. Samantha was here, I'm going to say 2 weeks ago now. She continues to improve and recuperate and go to therapy and whatnot. And so please, send her your well wishes and prayers. And, we hope to have her back, soon. So here's Wendy. Again, I don't know if you remember, she came and did the My W Life orientation for those, right? So she's going to talk about resident life.
Good afternoon, everyone. Well, thank you for coming in this wonderful Florida weather we have today. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some things that we have coming up in July, and I have already started working on August, and I would love if anybody has any recommendations or requests to bring those by while we're still working on August. And I feel like once I get the hang of things, Samantha will be back, you'll throw me out, and I'll go, oh, I was just getting it. So I'm asking for patience and grace. If I'm doing something and you go, well, I normally do that, you come tell me, because I don't know all the ins and outs exactly. But most of the things that we have left for the rest of the month are on this little slip of paper right here. And I would love if you would register for anything that you can on My W Life. And there's a couple of reasons for that. It helps us keep track of things. It helps me with reservations. And also, did you know that MyWLife will keep track of anything you've signed up for. So it's kind of like having that little event calendar in your pocket. Now, one of the things we are going to do next week is we're going to go back over MyWLife. If you haven't had that little tutorial or it's been a little while, I invite you to come back, invite your friends, invite your neighbors, invite your spouses or whoever. And we're also going to talk about volunteering. How many people volunteer in any capacity here in the community? Okay. Did you know that we record volunteer hours? No? Yes? No? Yeah? Okay. Across our organization, we collect all the volunteer hours that our residents serve. And it's more so that we can understand the impact that we're having in our community and perhaps off campus as well. We do report it as part of our tax exempt status. So every time you report, you help us in the very big picture from an organizational perspective, but also so that we understand the impact volunteerism has at each of our local communities. I am in the process of setting up our volunteer database. Some of you have received a link in the Daily Scoop that has that volunteer registration packet. And that is nice because it automatically drops your name and information into our system, which is called Volgistics. And then we'll talk about how to log those hours that you're serving. So, and I know the biggest thing I hear from volunteers is, I just want to do it because I love to do it. And I don't want to track it because I don't need the recognition. And I volunteer also outside of the communities, and I understand, but it is so important. So if you do, I really want to encourage you, go back to the Daily Scoop, fill that out for us. We'll talk about reporting hours, and I can also meet with you one-on-one and show you how to do it. So it's very simple, and it helps track things automatically. So the more we can do that, the better. We have one thing on here that I forgot to add in, and it's handwritten. In this month, we are celebrating California. Last night in here, we had trivia. We had Beach Boys trivia. We played Kahoot, which is a fun digital version, and we're going to play another round in August. And we are also going to do Hollywood charades. Does everybody remember charades? Yep. So we have an opportunity to play charades on the 17th at 3 o'clock here in the chapel. I just forgot to add it into this. My apologies if you can't read my handwriting. And then one other thing, for our birthday celebration this month, we're going to have a California-inspired meal. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you eat tofu and sprouts. Chef and I have worked this out. And we also, hopefully, if his paperwork clears, have a new entertainer coming, and he sings Frank Sinatra songs. So for our birthday luncheon this month, we're going to try out a new guy. And here's the beautiful thing. If we don't like him, we don't have to have him back, and then if it's my fault, I won't be here after August anyway, so you can throw me back out. The birthday luncheon in August, we are going to have that cellist come back. So we've already asked her to come back to play that background music in August. We have lots of fun stuff coming up in August. You will get to see that. Hopefully I can get it on the schedule in the Lake Hunter Herald. Everything goes in MyWLife. It's also on your internal TV channel. And again, if there's something you want to do, if there's somebody you want me to bring on, please tell me. I'm here to serve you and try to make it happen the best that I can. Yes? Oh.
And I can send you his pedigree and all that, but he can come and do a pro bono concert. He's willing to do that.
Free is my favorite word. I don't know about everybody else. But yes, please, 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 please.
Anybody who's listening on YouTube did not hear what Larry said. So it would be nice if there was a little synopsis
Okay.
of what the audience said before you could respond. They can't hear.
I'll get with Wendy and then.
So I think what you mean is for me to repeat that back. Yes. So we have an offer for a renowned pianist or a guitarist to come and provide a pro bono concert. And my answer to that is yes. Absolutely. We're also looking at some other partnerships. I know that there was a a doctor who came, a music professor that came in January or February of this year. And I've made contact with them. So I'm going to get them on the books for January, February in 2026. So we're trying to get some of those larger things pre-scheduled and make sure that we get on the tour circuit, because they are also agreeing to come and do that for free. Yeah. Anything else, if you have ideas, connections, please don't hesitate to bring them by. I am using Samanda's desk temporarily while she's out, so my extension is 127. If I'm sitting there, you are welcome to pop in and chat. If you have any ideas, please do. Again, I'm here to serve you to the best of my ability for the short time that I have. So, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate it. All right. Thanks, Wendy, again. You're doing great. You know, certainly we want to get Samantha back as soon as possible. So we, you know, keep sending her our well wishes. I'm going to play the part of Alyssa and Katie real quick here. They're both out. Katie's up in Orlando at some training. But for the health center, they continue to prepare for their annual survey. Alyssa's also going to be putting out some information and bringing the team to future meetings to introduce you all to them, and then have maybe a question and answer session. I know we get a lot of questions about what insurance is accepted in the community or in the health center, what insurance is not, what happens if my insurance is not, you know, covered. Is there you know, some sort of an allowance for that? And for the most part, the answer is yes. We have a home clause written into the Office of Insurance Regulation as part of our contract. So if you have, for example, Humana that we don't have a contract with, it is covered under the home clause portion of the contract. So today I tell you the census at Porter McGrath is 62, which is great. Our census in AL is 52, which is also great. And we currently have 0 residents or staff with COVID, which is great. Hey, right? It's awesome. I will, you know, say what, you know, Katie always says about that. You know, the best way to prevent the spread of COVID and sickness in general is to wash your hands, right? Use hand sanitizer. Try to stop touching your face. It's hard. We scratch, we itch, right? But use hand sanitizer. Try to stop itching your face. And I was just thinking about you, Deb, about the YouTube. It's working. It waited for you to come back to get working. So everybody knows we had a little bit of a trial and tribulation with the YouTube channel, and we ended up buying a new box, and they reprogrammed it, and we didn't need it. That was my sentiment. Deb said, really? And I said, are you trying this one now?
Hello. It works when I hold it up. It's like the sensitivity makes me sound like I had a deeper voice. Like I sound like Rick. I always make fun of Rick and his voice for radio.
Anyhow, the YouTube's working, 733. The mics are working. We appreciate the sound system. It's working great. I'll figure out, maybe it's the buttons on the side of the mic here that need to be adjusted or something. I don't know. But census, we're at budget with our census number in the health center, 62, and 5 above budget with our census at 52 in the ALF, which is good, right? Next, we're going to bring up maybe a combination of Marcus and Brad. I want you to let you all know, I'm going to skip ahead in my presentation a little bit. We're going to talk about, we have some leadership changes coming up. In case you didn't know, Marcus is going to be believing us. His last day is tomorrow. We certainly appreciate everything that Marcus has done for the dining services program. We've made great strides in trying to stabilize some things in that department. We have some work to do, but we appreciate, you know, from where we came from and where we're at today. So we're looking for a new dining services director. We have interviews set up for that. I can tell you that we've had over 100 applicants, right, for the positions. Been very well responded to, you know, out in the community. And also Ms. Tracy, our Human Resources Director, in case you didn't know, her husband's job or business was sold, and the company that took him over is moving them to South Carolina. So at the end of the month, she'll be leaving. You know, we certainly thank Tracy and Marcus, you know, for all their dedication and work on your behalf and on behalf of the staff members and holding events and functions and everything. So we appreciate that. And we're going to bring up Marcus and maybe Brad to talk about what's going on in dietary. Who's coming? Both of you. All right. We got 2 mics. I want you to feel left out. I know Brad really likes public speaking.
Couldn't wait.
To add to Wendy, I know she got like a Frank Sinatra style performer. I'll probably come in and play the part of Sammy Davis, you know, just to entertain everyone. All right. I just wanted to just take a moment just to, again, like I shared with Doug and share with a few residents, just to say thank you, because in this industry, our role is to serve our residents and our guests. And without our residents and our guests, we won't be here, you know. So it's just been an honor and a pleasure to really be a service to everyone, and I hope that we've been able to make an impact and a change for the better of the dining program. So thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Chef Brad. I think he will, you know, I'll keep it short and sweet. So I think he'll go over like some events and some menu things. And, you know, again, just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
This doesn't work.
It's on.
It's okay. Oh, yeah, right. So just so you guys know, I will be in doing my job and a little bit of what Marcus was doing. So as far as the menus and everything goes, like I said, if anybody has any suggestions or recommendations, please come find me. Like I said, I see some of you multiple times a day waiting in front of the elevator for the dining room to open. So you know where I'm at. I'm always open to hearing what you have to say. I have read the comment cards, and I am reviewing those and trying to do the best that I can to remedy some of those situations. Some of them are from March and April, so I'm catching up with those. They were given to me at a resident council meeting. Thank you, Marcus, for everything when you were here. I appreciate it. You'll be missed. And as far as events go and everything, a couple of them have to do with Miss Michelle and Eva Lee's, which they will probably be talking about when they're up here. I will just be doing the culinary side of it behind the scenes, so I will let them announce what those events are. And that is about it on my end. Not much. So that was the big news, was Marcus. So
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Anybody have any questions for dining services? Yes, ma'am. In general.
I'd like to know why our dining app doesn't coincide with the menu.
Why doesn't the dining app coincide with the menu? I think you're saying that what it says on My W Life disagrees with what you're getting served with.
Correct.
Right? Do you want me to take it? Because I know what the answer is, but do you want to take it? All right. So the answer to that is every time we place an order, we submit our menu to U.S. Food, right? That we've planned on serving for today's menu, let's just say, right? We submitted that to U.S. Food a couple days ago for delivery of food today. At the same time we are submitting our order, hundreds of other communities are submitting their same orders for whatever they want delivered to their restaurant or their community or whatever. Unfortunately, the way the system is currently, when the truck comes, they do not tell us that if we were short or the order, they didn't have a particular item, whether it be a protein, a meat, a fish, or a starch, or whatever they happen to run out of, or they didn't have a substitute for it. Like we may have ordered sliced carrots, and they sent us diced carrots or something, right? So that is primarily the reason. The easiest thing for us is to serve you what is on the menu. The curveball that is sort of made, and what we've been trying to do to combat that, is to go into the coolers, because the truck driver makes the delivery, and to go in there and verify what they brought us, right? So we know ahead of time if we need to publicize an alternate on the menu, right? So that's why there's a difference, and that's why My W Life sometimes disagrees with the digital menu that's on the wall out there. Because we do that, Brad does that day of, versus getting sent out a month in advance. So it's something that's not intentional, but we want to publish a menu and try to stay out ahead of it and keep everybody apprised of what we're going to have or what our plan is. But we don't provide our own food, right? It comes from another source.
I just have to say, I was so looking forward to bratwurst today.
She was looking forward to bratwurst today, and we had chicken, pasta, and a strawberry salad, which was tasty, I thought. But you're looking for bratwurst. Definitely different than bratwurst. So, point taken. But again, what we're trying to do, the team is trying to do, is to go back after deliveries are made and go through their menu versus what's on the shelf. And if there's a change, try to maybe publicize that a day or two in advance. All right? It's a constant battle, though, I'll tell you, and it's not unique to Westminster Lakeland. Okay. Any other questions for dining services? All right. Who are we moving on to? We're going to go to the sales update. We're going to bring the dream team up here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, Miss Susan, it's her birthday, so she's out today, the assistant. But Miss Susan also won the Sales Assistant of the Year, right, at our last meeting up in Orlando. So if you see Susan, please congratulate her, and here's Michelle.
Thank you. And Evilise. We have 2 mics, so we can give Evilise a mic also. Buddy.
You're going to sing a song.
I will. Don't tempt me. She's a hoot. You should always be around her. Yes, please make a point. Even stop down to see Susan. I just want to tell the story that she was so shocked when they called her name. She didn't know they called her name. We had to say, Susan, that's you. And she went up, and when she went up, she was like just looking, and no smile, nothing, because she's in complete shock. And when she came back to the table, and I said, that's Assistant of the Year from the communities. And she burst into tears. And they were the tears that said, I'm not sure that she had ever been recognized for a job well done. And it was so precious that I want to encourage all of you to please stop by and tell her you heard about it and congratulate her, because she works behind the scenes for every one of you. She knows most of you. She's done something personally for most of you. When somebody doesn't know something in the community, they'll oftentimes come to her and ask. And she's very wonderful, very trustworthy, all kinds of good things to say about her. And she's really the backbone of that department. So I just want to encourage you to say something to her. And I'm very proud right now, and all of you should be proud, and I'm going to just get on Evilise for a second, because she's filled our assisted living. That is a huge source of revenue for all of us, and people adore her. I'm very proud of her, and she's going to tell you all about it, but I just want to say that up front. And our occupancy rates, Doug has already gone over them. They're excellent. They're going to be even more excellent by the end of the year. For those of you on Lakeside Court, we have somebody that's going to be taking 815 Lakeside Court. We have somebody who's going to be taking 819 Lakeside Court. The renovations for Talley Street will be finished this month, and they will be moving into Talley Street, I think around the 28th of the month. That's 415 Talley. And I have heard, and it's not finalized, but I believe also that we will have a resident for 524 North Highland, Unit H. So this end of this month is really going to be stellar for us, and something to be really excited about. No. We do have 2 events that are for marketing, for independent living coming up. They're going to be held in the bistro over at the Wellness Center. We're celebrating National Cherry Pie and Cherry Cheesecake with marketing events. They're going to be on the 26th and the 30th. So they're called Design and Dessert. They are for prospects. But I am encouraging you, if you're over in the direction of the bistro on the 26th or the 16th or the 30th, to stop by. Our prospects love to talk to residents. So if you're around, I would love to introduce you, offer you a piece of cherry pie or cherry cheesecake, depending on what day it is, and have you just converse with potential residents. Does anybody like cherries? All right, that's what I want to hear. All right, and now for your entertaining pleasure, here's Evie.
Hi, everybody. How is everyone today? Oh, gosh, I need more energy than that. How is everyone today? Hey, okay, much better. Okay, so about some events that we have upcoming here on my end, and I'm so sorry, Wendy, I did not get it to her in time, so this is my fault for not having it on this lovely list you guys have on your hand. So you'll have to pencil it in there. But Gorgeous Grandma, it's Glamorous Grandma Day, and of course, we need to celebrate all of our grandmas and our grandpas too. You can always come as well. Glamorous Grandma Generational Brunch. So I do welcome you to come. It's going to be right in here on the 23rd. We're going to have a lovely brunch style setting for you. We'll have some nice round tables. We do have some sponsors for our event that will be setting up those tables with really fun themes. So whichever table you sit at, you'll just have a really great time. I encourage you to bring, it's generational. So if you have a daughter, a granddaughter, maybe you're not even a grandma, that's fine too. Come, bring a friend. I encourage you to bring somebody new. If you from your church or any local groups that you guys have outside, that would be encouraged as well. We're going to have live music. We'll have a few vendors too that will have some jewelry, clothing, makeup. So fun all around, and there'll be an area for you to also take some glam photos. So, you won't want to miss out on that. I'll leave some flyers here. I know Mandy was so nice to help me post that because I have no idea how to do any of that. So she put some information out there for me, and the rest of the team will share that as well. In August, we've got a really fun and furry event, which is Puppies and Prosecco. So that's going to be over in the Helen Berry Garden. And just come. It's going to be a tail wagging of a good time. See what I did there? And you can come have some Prosecco, bring your lovely pups. You can ask your friends and families to bring their pups. We'll have a blessing as well that Etta will be doing. So we're really excited about that. And, of course, they have to get pup cups. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. So please, again, share with the community. These events are all open. We really do want to encourage you to bring new people to these events to see the amazing lifestyle that you guys have here and how enriching and amazing it is at Westminster Lakeland. So please share. I did want to tell you about just a snapshot of what we're looking at for September. I do want to get to the team and finalize all this, but this was just some fun ideas that I came up with for Assisted Living Week. So in September, we do have National Assisted Living Week, and that's for all residents, not just our assisted living residents, and really would like to make it a full community involvement, but we've got some really cool themed days like Decades Day and Western Day and Wacky Wednesday and Luau Day and Hollywood Glam Day. So all those events will have different things within that to fit the theme. Hopefully looking to partner with some sponsors on that as well. And just wanted to give you a heads up so that you know what to expect. So it's a whole week of some fun stuff. Other than that, that's really all I have. Is there any questions you all have for me? Anything more I can do for you? Yes.
I saw your setup at the event in the pool.
Yes.
And that place looked great.
Oh, thank you.
How did that go?
It went really, really well. Thank you for asking. So you're referring to flip-flops and lemon drops. Another one of my favorites that I love so much. That was a professional-only networking event, but we did have some residents, of course, who were in the area that we were not going to close it off to, but we did. We had a nice musician, and we had probably about 25 to 30 people, if I remember. I think it was like 26, 27, that showed, and they really enjoyed it. And Marcus was mixing the drinks for us, which we were really thankful for, and it was a very great turnout. We have seen an increase too. In part of what I do is a lot of the outreach in the area, and we have seen an increase on local referrals. So I've been really excited about that. Some of our other local partners in the area that have been calling us and letting us know of some other people that are in need and would love to be here. So thank you. That went very well. That's all I
It
got.
all went well because he's filled our assistant. Yay!
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys. Awesome job. All right, we're going to bring up Rick. He's going to give us a update from the maintenance department and tell us about what's going on, Rick. Dun, dun, dun. No, good things. He's got some great news to share today, in particular. We didn't have a pre-meeting, so he's probably like, "Oh, what's he talking about?"
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I thought you were going to steal the thunder.
No, I'm not going to do it. I wanted to do it.
Well, the good news is that the chapel elevator is completed. But don't get too excited. The next step is that I called the elevator company up today and scheduled the inspection for next week. So once the inspection is cleared, that means the elevator will be turned back on.
Oh, thank God.
Yes. Yeah, we should have a party, elevator party. But I don't want to break the elevator, so let's have the party somewhere else.
How long has it been?
Since February? February? Yeah.
Because after I came, so I was in December.
Yeah.
So it had to be the beginning of the year.
So it's
We had
been,
a bad lightning storm, if y'all remember, right? And it took it out originally, and then it got inspected, and then we also had the fire panels that were out during that time, and, you know,
yeah, the PA system. We have done a lot of projects within that time frame, but what happened was we went through our annual inspection on the elevator, and they loaded it with, I think, 500-600 pounds of weights, and it passed inspection. But then after they left and went to another, we have 10 elevators on campus. They went to the next elevator. Somebody used it, and the hydraulics blew on it. So that's what caused everything. But it's the regulation that we have to do. We have to weight test all our elevators here. So but you know, they found the weak link. So that's what caused it. So, last, I want to give you an update on our projects. You know, last month we've completed the rooftops units in the health center, or ALF. We had to do inspections on that. We completed 490, we had 490 work orders called in, and we completed 411 of them. So that's 83% of work orders that were completed. We did the roof over here at Holland DeLay. Holland DeLay, Monty Johnson Garden Apartment roof, that was all completed last month. And this month we will be working on the Holland DeLay lobby area, second floor, where the new carpeting went down. We're going to, we have a PR project request submitted for that Holland DeLay 7 to remodel that unit. And once we remodel that, we're going to, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but we removed a lot of items out of Holland DeLay, second floor, because that we're going to renovate that lobby area, repaint the walls and the ceiling, and do some updating in that area. We have the fence project going on in Terrace Gardens. They started removing a lot of the fence. Most of it's been removed, and they are picking up the piles of fencing in Terrace Gardens. They are running into a slight issue. The retention pond that is down by the lake, down at the end of Terrace Gardens, the retention pond has retaining water, so they're having a hard time getting equipment and material over to that area. And so they're working on that. We're running in a dry spell, so they're hoping to get some of the material dropped off Monday over there. So that's, hopefully the rain will hold off, because if not, it's going to make it even tougher to get that fencing replaced. Any concerns at all for maintenance or housekeeping or anything?
A couple weeks ago, stopped by the MacArthur Center, and it was just a little bit before 7 o'clock, and the doors were locked. And I called the person on duty, and they said, well, we locked it at 7 o'clock tonight. Oh. I heard that 2 days ago, somebody else went up to MacArthur Center at 7 o'clock and found it was locked. Is this something we're going to expect? That?
No, what they were, at that time, Jono was training a new security guard, and they were up there making rounds, and they didn't, you know, they accidentally locked the units up. It was that and the swimming pool at the same time they locked up. But no, we passed the flyer on to security guard. My only concern is leaving the MacArthur Center and the swimming pool unlocked until 9 o'clock at night. We've had, in the past month, we've had to call the police 2 times for kids in the neighborhood, in the swimming pool, and they're throwing stuff in the pool. And my biggest concern is leaving that unlocked until 9 o'clock, because right now school is out, and what happens? Kids are out. And so in the past, we've had the MacArthur Center vandalized before inside. And so that's something that I was going to talk with Allison about, because I just don't feel too comfortable, even though we do have cameras up there. But who sits behind the camera and watches the video?
I talked to Allison, and she said she wasn't in favor of it.
Yeah. So that's just something I need to address with Allison. But as of right now, I did pass the flyer on to security to leave it unlocked until 9 o'clock. But you have to remember, we are not a gated community. We are in a neighborhood. And in this neighborhood, we have a high traffic area around the lake that goes by the MacArthur Center. And not everybody is as good as we are here. I mean, they look for things, opportunity. It's an opportunity for somebody. I think Deb had a question.
Actually, if you could expound a little more, I listened on last month's YouTube that there was a thought of maybe using some sort of security process, maybe a lockbox or key fobs, or maybe a door with a key, so that it could be locked up, and then only residents could access both the MacArthur Center and the pool.
I did look into that right now. We got one quote back. The company that I was reaching out to, I'm not sure if they had the experience for that, so I'm looking into another company that his suggestion was stick a Ring doorbell up. That's not that good of an opportunity. Their concern is, being in that area, we could stick a keypad on the outside, but on the inside, because it's just a screen door, we don't have any gates or anything separating it, that it wouldn't work that well on a screen door. And so I'm looking at possibly maybe doing gate entrances, like you stick a perimeter gate, and go through the gate and then go through a screen door. But then I thought about that too, because we have residents with walkers and mobility devices that would have a hard time, accessing that. So I'm exploring different opportunities right now for that. Yes, ma'am. we have a policy for locking all doors. The problem is we have 55 doors to lock. And so we start at 7 o'clock, and it really depends on where they start, because we don't have just, we're gonna start at the B building and work our way that way. They start and they make their rounds. And so we can't lock all doors at 7 o'clock. It's between 7 and 9 o'clock. But we do have call stations at the entrances at these doors, so if the door is locked, then you could pull the pull station and security will come and unlock that door for you. But like I said, when you have that many doors, you just can't snap your fingers and all doors are locked at one time. So it takes a good hour to make a round and lock all the doors.
All right. Any other questions for Rick?
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Yes, sir. And you're in 717? 718. Okay. I'll make a note of that. He has something in his garage that's eating the bottom seal of the garage door.
You keeping him in the garage at night?
I brought home a block of pecan today, and I'm
Maybe we can have pest control put a trap, something. All right.
I'll make a work order up for you.
Anybody else have any maintenance questions? All right. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Good news about the elevator, huh? Oosh. We just need to get those elevator doors painted before we put it back in operation. Yeah, I know it could take another 6 months, but we'll get a work order done on it. Maybe that'll fall into one of the 411 that we got done. All right, I just want to make sure we go over a few things that I've been receiving emails and whatnot about, and try to touch on, I think, an issue that Rick and I have talked to at least one resident about, and I know I've talked about it with other residents in passing. We've been talking about the probability or possibility of putting a sidewalk from the south end of the B parking lot down to the A building. What are you guys doing back there? Oh. All right. They're going to start pressure washing Crescent Street tomorrow. That was his other thing he had to say. And the sixplex. So I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. The south end of A building, where the parking lot is, the B parking lot across from it. We're talking about putting a little walkway there to connect the two with a couple steps to get up the elevation to the parking lot, because currently you have to sort of walk around or step over the curb and down through the grass, and we want everybody to be safe. So be careful if you're stepping over the curb and walking down through the grass. Otherwise, walk around until we get something built. All right. The other thing it's always a hot topic is what's going on with the sixplex. I know that we've asked for some input, some feedback about where the functions are that are going on there. I know Ms. Pat and our resident council is helping with that. I think Etta gets a lot of feedback on that as well. I receive emails, of course. We get suggestions that would be great if we could turn that into some sort of multi-use type facility. And I can tell you we talk about that. You know, myself and Orlando, leadership, our plans and design folks, Chris Wickberg and Mike Shanapal, we discuss it. It's just, it's an extraordinarily expensive undertaking. It would be. And, to have the, maybe if they built 20 or 30 units on top of it, what they would cost and, the entry fees that would be associated with it. And how long that would take to recover the return on the investment, right? So we're trying to, think about all these things and poke holes in it, find out, what the downside is. It sounds good, right? Just from, theoretically, but to do something operationally, it's not where we're at just yet. The sixplex renovation is still on the books to happen. I can tell you that we just had a management training meeting last month, and our COO, Gary Hennis, was up there, and he was sort of laughing. It is sort of funny. This community alone submitted a capital plan for, I want to say, 75, projects, a bunch. I know I was going over it with Pat, and so every community, and we were in a smaller community, so every community submitted one with, 50, 60, 100, capital projects, and many of them included the building of different structures, right, or the reconstruction of plumbing systems and waters and sanitary lines and all this. And to make a long story short, when we sort of include the hurricanes that we had last year, all of these capital projects, the renovations, the repairs related to the hurricane recovery, they just can't do it. They have 5 people in the plans and construction building over there, and they're just simply overwhelmed. So some of these things are gonna, I'll get to you there, Neil. Some of these things are gonna remain, on the to-do list. It's just the timeline for them are getting pushed out. At the same time, we have, we've already started the capital project list, as we know. We got a question over there. We'll get to you. So we're working on that again. We're working with the resident council, to get your input on what we're doing from our walkabouts. We're prioritizing the dining room renovations and the guest room renovations, right? We're working with Direct Supply Design to get that put in. If you haven't been by the dining room, there's samples out there and for fabric and colors that are, currently being planned. It doesn't mean that that's the final, but that's what's being planned. You want to go ahead, Neil? Yeah. She's got a microphone for you.
I know whatever you do with the sixplex, it's going to take quite a bit of time. Can we spend a few minutes and slobber some paint on the north side there? It's been 4.5 years. It's looking the ugliest place on campus.
Sure. They're going to actually be pressure washing it either the end of this week or next week. So it is. We got to get it before we can do anything to it. We got to get it clean. I don't know about slobbering the paint, but we'll maybe precisely, carefully paint something. But no. And all kidding aside, I've told other people the story when I was first sort of driving around this area. Not looking, for a future place of employment, but looking for a home to buy. I was driving around the area, and then I drove by those little apartments over there, and I was like, what's up with this place? Is this, is this is this a shelter or what's going on here? So we definitely need to do something, with it, even if it's, just temporary. So yes. All right. We had a question over here. She's bringing a microphone to you.
That close?
Yep, you're doing good.
Okay, I have a lot of questions. It's more for the other side.
All right, that's all right.
And we're lacking some things, and nobody's doing anything about it.
Such as?
Well, the water machine, they have told me that it wasn't working.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if you could just look at the list, it's rather extensive.
All right, do you have a list with you? Or did you
Yes.
give it to somebody? Yeah. Okay, we will look at you. Maybe you can take a picture of that for me, Etta, and we'll go through the list. All right, we appreciate you, coming and letting us know. But To get back to the list I have here, we're doing the dining rooms, the guest rooms, the lobby furniture and PMG. We're still identifying that. The furniture that's in there is from a model unit that we stole. Sales department wants their furniture back, so we're going to have to find other furniture. The tables, we have 2 temporary card tables in the sunroom, right? I know that there's a lot of card playing that goes on in there, so we want to get the tables, replaced in there. I think at this point everybody knows that we had one table that was water damaged and one table that our friends the termites liked. So, we have a thing with termites here on our campus, and we're trying to make sure we negotiate, some sort of settlement. The parking decals. Parking decals, I believe, are being distributed. The best place for those to go is in the bottom left of your window. Take your old one off, put the new one on. Do not obstruct your field of vision. All right, I can't say that strong enough. If the parking decal is in the way of you seeing out of your windshield, the front, as you drive, put it someplace else, or come talk to us, or something. All right, don't get in an accident because of the parking decal. Housekeeping. We have a couple new residents that have inquired about having us do housekeeping. We're going to be, putting that back out there. If any of our current residents, would like the housekeeping, done in their IL home, let us know, and we can add you to the list for that. We're going to be adding that to the Daily Scoop, and Mandy will be providing more information on that. We already did the resident life update. Hurricane preparation. Mandy brought copies of the packet here. We are in hurricane season. We ask, that you give us, your updated contact information. We have most of your email addresses, for communication, but phone numbers and things change all the time, right? And if you would please fill that out. If you need a copy, Mandy has printed out a copy, and they're located at the desk here before you leave. Please fill them out. There's some good information about supplies and whatnot, and to prepare for hurricane season. Anybody have any questions about that? Hurricane preparation. No? All right. Oh, Mr. Tony's got one.
The provision of a guide is a great idea. It takes forever to fill out, but that's important.
The provision of a guide is great, it's a good idea, but it takes a long time to fill out. Maybe something like that is something that we can digitize in the future and do a PDF writer. We're going that direction with a lot of our admission paperwork. It makes it much simpler. You sign one place and it auto-populates it everywhere. But we're not there with this particular document yet, but we'll get there. All right. Any other questions? 105. Yes, sir. Parking for independent living.
When we come over here, we have a heck of a time trying to find parking place. And there's nothing really designated, and particularly the handicap side. And I know this has been an ongoing thing for a while. Okay. What are you looking at?
All right. So the sort of the statement question is, parking. IL residents come over to park. They want to come over for an event or have a meal. Where do they park? Well, I mean, it's we are cursed with not enough parking, right? So, we have to, work on that. I am happy to take, suggestions. One of the suggestions I can tell you in regards to the sixplex and parking is to remove the sort of parking shed that's over there and maybe use that area to add some spaces. The challenge, right, with if we make more parking, especially if we pave it, is the runoff, right? So, you know, we've done some mitigation of stormwater, in particular behind MacArthur. I appreciate Neil is sending me the pictures from behind there, I guess last week. Was it from when we had a storm, got up close to your door? But, you know, that's the issue. So if we make it, do we make it a grass lot? Do we make it maybe crushed concrete or something that's semi-permeable that we can park on, yet the rain can go through? But it's a challenge, right? We've built and we've expanded, and we didn't really include parking when we did that. So in a perfect world, right, when we expanded the ALF and the Porter McGrath building, we would have built parking underneath it, and we didn't do that. So we have to come up with Plan B. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just what they did at the time. Maybe they couldn't go up another level. But we'll continue to work on it. If you have ideas, I am open to it. She's going to bring you a mic.
Doug, there are some some spaces around, and we hunt those spaces, but we're not sure whether we're parking in somebody else's private space or not. They're not really marked that well.
So the parking spaces, if you're talking about the parking spaces in front of the administration building by the dining room, those are not assigned parking, except for the guest rooms. And, I know that we don't have something broadcasted that lets you know if there's a guest here or not, at least not currently. But, other than that, all the parking spots are assigned. And, currently we only have a unit or two that's open in the apartments, right, in A building and B building. So there's not very many, open spots. Part of this parking decal process will identify what spots are open and if we can, put some more visitor parking, out there.
Well, Doug, I looked for one over here in this parking area behind the other side of what is it, Hunter?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some that are not marked over there.
Yeah, there's at least 3 spots there next to that are like next to the street, the side. They used to be painted, where it's on the list of things to get painted. Those are all visitor spots. You're talking about next to the street?
Well, yeah, on the left side.
Yeah, we need to get those marked.
Because I don't want to park in somebody else's place.
And I appreciate that because it does happen. And I will tell you that our vendors do that, right? And then it causes a resident to park in somebody else's spot. And so I tell Rick every time I have a minute with him, hey, listen, when, the air conditioning guy, we need the air conditioner fixed, but don't park in a resident spot, right? Yes, sir.
Doug, just a question. Has a second level deck been suggested for the existing parking?
So has a second level deck been suggested for the existing parking? So you're talking about the parking lot across from, PMG. Yes, and it hasn't gone anywhere. If more of our staff would park in, we call it the green lot, which is next to the Sixplex, the A lot, which is across the street from the PMG, would be much more open. So we encourage that. It's just we're not here policing where people park, who's who. Nurses and doctors and, practitioners look very similarly dressed when they come in. So, having a confrontation with folks about it, we want to be careful with that. All right. Speaking of confrontations, I'll go ahead and I don't see him here today to speak to them directly, but our staff members we've been talking about, we had security and a nurse, a phlebotomist that came to get a blood draw from a resident the other morning. One of our new residents, brand new. Showed up at 5:45. I guess they knocked on the door. Nobody answered, and they went in to get the blood draw. Some of you all may think this is okay, but they were startled, and as I would be if somebody was standing over me at 5:45 in the morning and I didn't know that they were supposed to be there. You know, they were a little, you know, upset about it. So we've instructed our, you know, team, our security, you know, if you knock on the door, nobody comes, you know, we're gonna have to go try and call, you know, whoever the resident is, whoever the guest is, and not just walk in, right? So if you, what my message is if you make an appointment, right, with somebody to come do that for you here on site, which people do all the time, you know, please let us know so, you know, we can help, you know, facilitate that. At least we know that you're expecting them to come, and you know they're going to be there at 5:30 in the morning or whatever time it is. And, you know, we know maybe to be a little more aggressive in knocking on your door because you're expecting, you know, to be disturbed and have somebody come in and provide the service. We just don't want you to be startled and upset about it, right? So they're trying to do the right thing, get the lab drawn, but yes, Ms. Barber.
How do you tactfully impress upon maintenance, do not come in unless I answer the door?
Well, this week we've been having direct conversations about that. We also have for our IL residents a do not enter list that says if you're not home or you don't answer, don't come in.
Okay, so there is a list.
There is a do not enter list, yes, ma'am. Yep. But in this case, they were there with a nurse. The nurse had, you know, looked, you know, very official, had the little lab, you know, draw kit and everything. You know, they were there for a legitimate reason. I just think that the new resident didn't think that the lab would come at 5:45 in the morning. It's a little early. So, all right. Well, that's all I have. Anybody have any other questions for me? All right. Have a good day. Welcome to July. Whoop, whoop.
3, 4, 5. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And the audio's all the way up. Testing, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can hear me here, but I can't hear me here. Testing. What did I do to my microphone? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. This might have something to do with it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me out there? Manny, can you hear me over the head? No? No, you can't hear me. Can you hear me on the speakers out there? I'm trying to see if you can hear me overhead from here. So you can hear me here, but you can't hear me here. You can't hear me down here. I don't know why. Is that any better? Is that any better? Is it any better? Is it getting better? Is it any better there? How's the volume there? No, because it's not as good as there. That's what I need right there. How about now? No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. That, yeah, I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have. I don't know. That's weird. I'm gonna try that one too. It was, but I took the one that he didn't have. Yeah, so, and I'm pushing, I don't know how far, because this is, I think, as high as volume goes there. I don't know if you have to pull it. And it's on normal. I don't know. That's weird. Okay. And all I know to do there is mic sound there. How about now? Is it picking me up now? Is it picking me up out there now? How about now? How about now? Is that better? Is that better now with me talking on the outside? Okay, so you have to raise the microphone volume for the actual microphone. That's what I have to do. So Doug can hear me now. Okay. For the necklace mic. So this is, let me show you what I did. Undo anything else with the sound across here. Where it says mic 1, 2, I just took it all the way to the top. And it's okay because it's not in the red or orange at the top, so we still got, because she said if it goes up in the red or orange up here, that we're too loud, we're good there. Okay, so let me try this.
We'll all have our time.
Okay, how about this one? Is that one coming through good there? Is that too loud? Because I'll find a good sweet spot. Is that too loud, Debbie, for me there? That sounds good there. Okay, so what it is, we actually have to do individual